On baseball around the clock here at Lawrence Dupont Stadium. The first game of the evening already completed with the Tijuana Mayo suffering defeat for the first time at the hands of the Nevada Griffins by a score of 6-2. Nevada now 3-0. Tijuana is still alive at 2-1. They will come back to play at 5 o'clock tomorrow evening against the winner of a game going on over at El Dorado right now between the Clarinda, Iowa A's and the Austin Mudcats. And the Nevada Griffins will get a little bit of time off now after moving to 3-0 in the tournament, the first team to reach the third round, actually the fourth round, undefeated. As I said, Mark Standiford alongside. And Mark, we have one team here tonight in El Dorado that certainly everyone usually expects to see in the winner's bracket for a while in this tournament. The Hartselle, Alabama Expos have been coming here for a long time. This is their 15th appearance and their 13th consecutive since 1986, but their best finish was a tie for fifth, and it's been 10 years ago since that happened. They've generally been a club that wins one, loses a couple, and goes home. The two wins has already matched their best showing in the last 10 years, going back to 1995, so they have been a major surprise.
Well, they sure have, and they've come in swinging the bats well. That's the key. I think they've, with a lot of confidence, said they've been here a lot of years in a row, and I think that starts to build a little bit as far as getting fired up and working your way towards this tournament throughout the year that they're playing summer ball. So I think they've done a good job. Tonight's a big test, though. They're playing the El Dorado Broncos, which is a good team and a team that really gets up when this tournament starts. So if they could get over this hump right here, it's big for them, but it's going to be a tough test, as I said.
And Hartselle in a little different situation. They're in prime time, so to speak. They've played a later game against the Santa Barbara Foresters. Now, in doing that, they have faced one of the more highly favored teams in the tournament, and there were some fans rooting for Santa Barbara because of the presence of 4 Wichita State players. But this is the feature game. The crowd will be the biggest they've played in front of. It will be a very partisan toward the Broncos crowd, and so the atmosphere will certainly be different.
Well, that's a big point you said right there. Anytime you can play those late games, you don't have the huge crowds. A lot of these guys are small college guys, so they're probably not used to playing in front of these big crowds, and that will be a factor because, as you said, a lot of these fans here are to see El Dorado. They're going to root for El Dorado. But I tell you what, if they can start out strong and start out these first couple innings, score a couple runs, ease their nerves a little bit, I think they'll be able to stay in this ball game.
The other thing that's always a factor as you start to get in this point in the tournament, this will be Hartselle's third game in 5 days, so their starting pitcher from the first game, Brian Williamson, who threw an excellent ball game against Santa Barbara, actually third game in 4 days, so he's only got 2 days rest. He will not be able to pitch tonight, which means they're now going to be throwing a third starter, and that's when you start to find out about the overall quality of some of these teams when they start getting that deep into their rotation.
Well, that's exactly right. That's why so many teams will pick up players coming to this tournament to try to shore up their pitching because this is a true test. This third game for everybody is tough, as you said, because you're going to have to go to your third starter. Your fourth game, you're probably going to be able to bring back your first game starter, so it is a true test. Not only for Hartselle, but for the Broncos as well.
And a little bit of a surprise in that regard. Ben Orr will get the start tonight for the Broncos. He is a junior to be at Biola, a NAIA program in California. He had 4 starts in the Jayhawk League and good numbers. His record only 1-2, but a 2.97 ERA, and he's a left-hander. And Mark Wasikowski, the Broncos manager, had some different options. Brian Motzenbacher, who's been one of their top couple of starters this year, could have gone. But apparently maybe feels like a left-hander could give this hard-hitting Hartselle team a little bit of problem.
I don't believe Orr is overpowering. I think he's a guy that's probably going to have to use a lot of different pitches to get some players out. I think the key, too, for him is they're going to have to play good defense behind him. He's not an overpowering pitcher, so he's going to have to rely on his defense. But a good left-hander can really work the ball away from some good right-hand hitters, force them to hit some weak ground balls to the left side. I think that's what he's hoping for tonight.
Yeah, the other thing that we'll watch for a little bit, if there's any sign of nerves on the part of Hartselle, those things can show up in errors or base-running mistakes, and we've talked about this a lot, but when you get to this stage of the tournament, actually anything in this tournament, but sooner or later it's the teams that don't beat themselves that advance the farthest, and you can't be giving away runs against anybody in this kind of a tournament.
That's exactly right, especially, although today is not really a big hitter's day, the wind is actually not blowing in at all. It's actually just pretty much a standstill, the flag that is. So it's not a great hitter's day, but you're right. You can't afford to give teams extra outs. You need to go, you need to make the routine plays, make the exception play every now and then, but you can, like you said, Mike, you can't afford to give up the extra outs, and that's the key. The guys that can get their nerves under control and come out and make those plays.
I talked with Terry Elliott during Sports Talk, and the Broncos, probably as much as any team in the tournament, have some guys that have been in championship-type situations. Jeremy Troutman and Nate Robertson, Greer Jones were all part of their 96 team that won this tournament. Terry Elliott played for Anchorage in 86. They've not only got some guys that are veterans, but guys that have played in a lot of NCAA regional competition, championship level in this tournament, and so forth.
That's right. You throw Kevin Hooper in a mix as well. So, yeah, there is a lot of experience that goes in, and that goes a long ways. I mean, speaking for the Sluggers, we had a lot of guys that we really lost a step or two here or there, but the experience really helps us to carry through throughout this tournament. I think that is a big part to the teams that do well.
So it's the Broncos and the upstart Hartselle Expos in tonight's feature game, both 2-0 in the tournament, back with the lineups in the first pitch after this 1-minute timeout. Our national anthem, beautifully sung by Bill Skidmore, and we're ready to get things underway here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Here are the starting lineups. First, for the Hartselle, Alabama Expos, who will be the visiting team in tonight's ball game. 23-6 overall on the year, 2-0 in this tournament. It will be Stephen Carlson leading off in center field. Danny Pagnelli, the left fielder, bats second. Alberto Morales hitting third at short. And Chance Melvin batting in the cleanup spot at third base. Robbie Brooks batting fifth at second base. Sam Lee will be at first base hitting sixth. Alan Lang will DH. Actually, Wes Brooks batting sixth and catching. Sam Lee hitting seventh at first base. Alan Lang DHing and batting eighth. And batting ninth in right field, Jackie Robinson, the starting pitcher. For Hartselle will be Corey McDonald. For the El Dorado Broncos, now 37-22 on the year, 2-0 in the tournament, Kevin Hooper will lead off at second base. Batting second in right field, Jeremy Troutman, and hitting third at shortstop, Dave Bacani. Hitting fourth at first base, Greer Jones. Sam Scott will DH and bat fifth. Terry Elliott hitting sixth and catching. Mike Pumo is in left field, batting seventh. Jason Espito hits eighth at third base. Lou Ford is in center field, batting ninth. And the starting pitcher is left-hander Ben Orr. Orr is 6'1", 175 from La Mirada, California. He attends Biola College, a good NAIA program in California, where he'll be a junior next year. In Jayhawk League play this summer, he made 6 appearances, 4 as a starter, and was 1-2, but with a 2.97 ERA. 33 1/3 innings. He allowed just 26 hits, 14 walks, and struck out 22. He'll be making his first appearance of this NBC World Series. As you said, Mark, a guy that's not going to overpower people, although it looks like he's got a decent fastball warming up when he keeps it down. Obviously, the key will be spotting it. And I'm sure that the way Hartselle's been swinging the bats, they're a very aggressive hitting ball club. He's going to try to keep them off balance.
That's right. And one thing, too, that Terry Elliott does a good job, especially helping out these young pitchers, he's going to have to establish that fastball, especially on the inside half, which is going to set up his other pitches. He's going to make his changeup that much better, as well as his breaking ball. So it's going to be very important, but it's great having a guy like that behind the plate in a game like this.
I talk about Hartselle being aggressive at the plate. They've only walked 5 times in 2 games, but they've also only struck out a total of 4 times in 2 games, so not such free swingers that they swing at a lot of bad pitches. Leading it off for the visitors, Stephen Carlson, the center fielder. He is off to a great start in the tournament. 5 for 8, 625, a home run, 5 runs batted in, and 4 runs scored in 2 games. Carlson, right-handed all the way. He'll be transferring into the University of Alabama Huntsville program as a junior this coming year, a good Division II program. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Most of these Hartselle players are Division II and NAIA players, although they have some pretty gaudy numbers, some of them at that level. The pitch looped down the right field line, slicing toward foul territory and out of play, and Ben Orr quickly out in front of Stephen Carlson, 0-2.
2 good fastballs. That was a fastball in on Carlson's hand.
Carlson from Lafayette, Louisiana. 6 feet, 187-pounder. Runs well. He covers a lot of ground in center field. The pitch to him, low and outside, a fastball again from Ben Orr. Tried to get him to chase one, and Carlson stayed off it. It's 1-2.
Just a great view up here in the box. Carlson stands a long ways away from the plate and really likes to dive into the plate. Well, it's moved in to bust a fastball in on his hands. That's what he did.
And it's grounded to second. Hooper a couple of steps to his left and throws him out at first. Stephen Carlson grounds out to Kevin Hooper, 1 out in the first for the Hartselle Expos. Hartselle opened play in the tournament with one of the bigger upsets of the tournament so far, a 12-1, 5-inning run rule pounding of the 4th-seeded Santa Barbara Foresters, then came back a couple of nights ago to spot Clarinda, a 6-1 lead, and came back to win 12-6. One by Orr, and the first pitch to Danny Pagnelli is low for ball 1. Pagnelli, the left fielder, bats from the left side, showed bunt on the first pitch, but took it back as the pitch was low. Pagnelli without a hit so far in the tournament, 0 for 7 in 2 games. The 1-0, way inside, and it got him. That's about the first pitch he's thrown that wasn't a fastball, I don't think, and it just got away from him, caught him on the right side.
I don't think it hurt him too bad, just barely nicked him. Got him enough, though, to send him to first base.
Runner at first base, one out, and the batter, Alberto Morales. Right-handed hitter, 6 for 9 so far in the tournament. Pitch to him, he has hit into center field and pretty well. Back a step, though, as Lou Ford, the center fielder, makes the catch for the out. Ball was hit pretty much on the nose, but right at the center fielder, Lou Ford, and there are 2 quick outs for Hartselle in the first.
That's right, Morales was looking fastball, and he got it and jumped all over it. Fortunate still for the Broncos, it was hit right at the center fielder.
Here's another guy having a hot tournament. Chance Melvin, 3 for 4 in the first game, 5 for 8 now over 2 games, 625. He has a home run, 4 runs batted in, and 3 runs scored. Another right-handed hitter against the left-hander, and he takes low for ball 1. Chance Melvin from the University of West Alabama, where he'll be a senior next year, 6'2", 190-pounder. He's a first-team All-Gulf South Conference choice. The 1-0. Breaking ball, low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Melvin also an NCAA Division II All-Region selection this past spring. He hit .426 with 14 homers and 19 doubles for West Alabama. The pitch, fouled outside first and out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Hartselle making its first NBC World Series appearance clear back in 1983. The team was formed originally in 1976. Again, their 15th appearance overall, 13th consecutive since 1986. The 2-1, the runner goes, got a good jump, throw to first, Greer Jones down to second, and that is not quite in time. A stolen base for Danny Pagnelli, who got a great jump on the pickoff to first by Orr. He went first movement and just really accelerated and went after it.
We sure did. In fact, Pagnelli, just right when he picked his foot up, as you said, Mike, went on first movement. No way to get the runner at second base.
Runner in scoring position with 2 down now for the Hartselle Expos. 2-1 to Chance Melvin. Breaking ball hit pretty well to right center field. Lou Orr going back on the ball, and Lou Ford, makes the catch for the out. That ball hung up a little bit in right center. Melvin flies out to Ford to end the inning, and in the inning, no runs on no hits. A hit batter and 1 man left on base, and after a half inning, Hartselle nothing, the El Dorado Broncos coming to bat.
It's
At the bottom of the first inning for the El Dorado Broncos, Kevin Hooper will lead off. He'll be followed by Jeremy Troutman and Dave Bacani, and you can hear the cries of Hoop as Kevin Hooper gets set to step in. Starting pitcher tonight for Hartselle, big right-hander Corey McDonald out of Huntington, an NAIA college in Alabama. He hits the outside corner for strike 1. McDonald, 6'3", 220-pounder.
Big boy.
Originally from Montgomery, Alabama. Drops down a little bit from the side, misses high with the fastball, 1-1. Kevin Hooper hitting .367 on the year for the Broncos. Keep in mind, a lot of that was with a wood bat in the Jayhawk League. The 1-1 high. Took something off. It's 2-1. Hooper off to a 4 for 8 start in the NBC World Series, a .500 average. He has hit a home run and driven in 3 and has scored 4 times. The 2-1. That's low, 3 balls and a strike. This is not a guy you want to put on there. He can make some things happen. He's been running well this summer. Kevin Hooper's been a good NBC World Series player, a 2-year average of .367 over the last 2 years. Takes low and inside for ball 4.
It's a great at-bat. Goes up there, sees a lot of pitches, works the count in his favor, and is able to draw a walk.
That'll bring up Jeremy Troutman. Trout playing his 3rd consecutive year in this tournament with the Broncos. Played with them in '96 after his sophomore year at Butler County Community College, again last year after his junior season at McNeese State, and now has completed his eligibility this past spring at Wichita State. Takes outside for ball 1. Troutman still hoping to maybe get a look from the scouts as a pitcher. He had a very good spring for Wichita State out of the bullpen. 4-0 with 2 saves and a 2.81 ERA and 18 appearances. So far as a hitter this summer, he has hit .359 for the Broncos. He has always hit well in these summer leagues. He takes low and inside, and it's 2-0.
Well, he's the kind of guy that you got to give a chance, first of all, to get out there and see him a lot. He's not going to impress you if you just come and watch one game. If you see him day in and day out, you're not going to find a better player because he goes out there and plays the game hard as can be.
Jeremy 5 for 8 so far in this tournament, .625. The pitch to him, high and outside. It's 3-0, and Corey McDonald having a wee bit of trouble finding the plate. Manager Philip Hill is going to rush out there and talk to him. Jeremy Troutman was the most valuable player in this tournament 2 years ago when the El Dorado Broncos won the title. He hit .474 on 18 for 38, had 2 homers, drove in 12, and scored 11 in 10 games, also stole 9 bases. So he has plenty of tournament experience. Last year hit .353 for the Broncos in the World Series, and off to a 5-for-8 start this year.
He's the kind of guy, too, that he likes baseball so much. You're probably going to see him, if he does not get picked up, playing this tournament for quite a few years yet.
And he can be a valuable guy because he can help you as a pitcher or a hitter. He can DH, play a little first, play a little outfield. Ahead 3-0, and McDonald's pitch is high for ball 4. Back-to-back walks on the first 2 hitters of the ball game. McDonald has only thrown 1 strike in 9 pitches. First and second with nobody out for Dave Bacani. Bacani, a freshman All-American this past spring and a first-team All-Big West Conference selection for Cal State Fullerton. He is hitting .331 for the Broncos this summer. Just 1 for 7 so far in the tournament. The pitch to him showed bunt, takes a strike. Bacani, spelled B-A-C-A-N-I. From Los Alamitos, California. Not very big. One of the smaller 3-hole hitters you'll ever see at 5'7", 160. And he's not a power hitter at all, but a consistent guy, and that's why they've got him in that spot. Here's a pitch up and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Broncos don't have an awful lot of power up and down the lineup, and so they've got basically 3 guys at the top that can all hit for average, run a little bit, and are patient at the plate.
That's right. Bacani could probably be a great 2-hole hitter, but you want to kind of go right, left, right if you can. Straight
Good
bunt.
spot toward third. They don't have a chance on this one, which is ironic that I would choose that particular phrase because the third baseman's name is Chance Nelson. The Chance had no chance on that one, as it was a perfectly laid bunt by Dave Bacani, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Outstanding bunt. Strange, though, Chance, the third baseman, was not playing in looking for that. Again, there was first and second, nobody out. The guy that handles the bat well at the plate.
Bases full for Greer Jones, who has played in 2 games here in the World Series for the Broncos and is 4 for 8. And there's a well-hit drive to center field. It will be caught, but it will score the first run. As Hooper tags after the catch, Stephen Carlson fires it toward third. A run scores, and the Broncos lead 1-0. Greer Jones, 4 out of his first 8 in the tournament, picks up his 4th run batted in 3 games.
And that's the guy you want at the plate. I think he was hitting .500 with runners in scoring position, as you said, Mike. Finds a way to drive the runs in. The ball's not carrying real well today. That ball was hitting right on the nose, and we saw a ball hit in the top half of the first inning. Really not carry very well either.
Nevada in the first game hit a couple of home runs to right and right center, but even there the ball is not carrying as well as it has been earlier in the tournament. Here's a pitch a little bit outside to Sam Scott for ball 1. Scott has been a key member of 2 straight Cowley County JUCO World Series teams and is now headed off to Florida State next year as a junior. Left-handed hitter, DHing tonight, 2 for 6 so far in the tournament. Had a solo home run last night in the win over the San Francisco Seals. The pitch, change up, catches the outside corner, 1-1. Scott hitting .316 for the entire summer with the Broncos. But a team leading 8 home runs and 45 runs batted in 41 games. Not that big a guy, but he does hit with a little bit of pop. Pitch on the way, and McDonald just hit the outside corner with another off-speed delivery. It's 1-2, and Sam Scott kind of cocked his head like he wasn't sure that was a strike.
Those are 2 pitches in exactly the same spot. You said, Mike, I think they were either a straight change or a slow breaking ball, right at the knees on the outside part of the plate.
Sam Scott from Stillwell, Kansas, played his high school ball at Blue Valley, Stillwell. 1-2, there go the runners. Pitch is a little bit outside, throw to third, not in time. A double steal by Troutman and Bacani puts runners at second and third with 1 out as the count goes to 2-2 on Sam Scott. When that ball was thrown, I thought they had a good chance to get Troutman at third, but the throw was a little high.
That's just a big-time surprise. Really, Troutman, he'll do that kind of stuff, though. He'll try to pick a pitch he can run on, maybe a breaking ball. You got a left hand here at the plate. You don't try to take a chance like that, and he did.
2-2, bounce to the right side hard, but the first baseman's only play will be to first as Sam Lee gets the put out unassisted. But the steal sets up a run as Jeremy Troutman scores on the ground out, and the Broncos have scored twice here in the first without a base hit.
Right, little things add up, and that's exactly what you said, Mike. That steal allowed the Broncos to drive that run in. Therefore, Hartselle may have had a chance to turn to old play if they don't steal.
I'd say without a hit. Actually, there has been a bunt single by Bacani, but no ball has left the infield for a hit, and the Broncos have put up 2. Terry Elliott takes a strike on the inside corner. Elliott has played in one extra game beyond the World Series for the Broncos. They picked up a game in between the Midwest Regional and the World Series, and he is 7 for 13, 538 in those 3 games. Takes low and inside, 1-1. Terry 4 for 8 in the NBC World Series with a couple of runs batted in. He had 3 hits in the opening win over the Austin Gold Sox, a little flare over the second baseman last night against San Francisco. Hits this one high in the air to right field. Jackie Robinson cruising in under it, and he'll make the catch for the out. Terry Elliott flies to right, and in the first for the El Dorado Broncos. 2 runs on just 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. After 1, Broncos 2, Hartselle, Alabama, nothing.
It's the target.
And here at Lawrence Dumont, this is the 8th night of the NBC World Series. Started a week ago tonight, and the El Dorado Broncos lead the Hartselle Expos 2-0 as we start the second. Robbie Brooks takes low and inside from Ben Orr for ball 1. Brooks coming off a 2-home run effort in Hartselle's second-round win over Clarinda. Takes the fastball low, 2-0. Overall, he's 3 for 7 in the tournament. The 2 homers, 5 RBIs, but he also has struck out 3 times in 7 at-bats, so it's been kind of an all-or-nothing deal for him. He takes a strike, and it's 2-1. Robbie Brooks, Wes Brooks, and Sam Lee do up for Hartselle here in the second. 2-1 pitch, high and outside, 3-1. A couple of Hartselle's better players are Jacksonville State players, and Brooks will be joining them as a JUCO transfer this coming year. 3-1, hit hard down the left field line, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Hustling over to try to cut it off quickly is Mike Pumo, and he will hold it to a long single. Good recovery by Pumo, but a good solid hit down the left field line by Robbie Brooks of Hartselle.
That was a fastball. Kind of got in on his hands a little bit. He was able to fight it off for a single down the line. Kind of surprised, though, he didn't try to go for 2. I think he probably would have made it.
That's the first hit of the night for the Expos. They had a hit batter reach in the first inning. Wes Brooks, the catcher, stands in from the right side. 2 for 6 so far in the World Series, 333. Swings and hits it high in the air to left field. Should be caught, although it's carrying a little bit. Back to the track and stepping back in to make the catch is Pumo once again for out number 1. That ball actually carried a little better than I thought it would, given how the ball has been carrying tonight, but it was caught on the track by Pumo.
Yeah, on a normal day, a day in August when the wind is blowing out, that ball's out here by quite a ways.
While it has not been typical Kansas weather for this NBC World Series in August, it has been delightful. We have been repeatedly blessed with temperatures in the 80s, either no wind or just a very slight cool breeze. Just beautiful evenings to watch baseball. By the way, a good crowd on hand again tonight, and this is a fully paid crowd. There were no free tickets out tonight. Easily the best crowd under those circumstances of the tournament. Here's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to Sam Lee, who is 3 for 6 so far in 2 games with a home run, 3 runs batted in, and 4 runs scored. Right-handed hitter. Ben Orr's pitch, breaking ball, looped down the right side. It's going to slice into foul territory and out of play. And the count at 0-2. A big crowd on hand last night, probably the biggest of the tournament, and it was alive when Kevin Hooper singled in the bottom of the 9th to drive in the winning run against San Francisco. 0-2. Struck him out. Orr pretty much came right at him. It was not right down the middle, but a fastball down and away that was in the strike zone, and Lee swung and missed for strike 3.
Yeah, Lee must have been guessing something off speed, and that was a fastball, just blew it right by him. Kind of surprised him a little bit.
They'll bring up Alan Lang, the designated hitter. Lang off to a good start in the tournament also. He is 4 for 5 with a home run and 3 runs batted in. Stocky right-handed hitter from Calhoun Junior College in Alabama. Moved to first base. Brooks is back. Has just a short lead, but he does have a stolen base in the first 2 games of the tournament. Lang, the hitter, 6 feet, 200 pounds from Carrollton, Alabama. Right-handed hitter. Breaking ball to him. Catches the inside corner for a strike. So far, Ben Orr's done a nice job of mixing up his pitches, moving it in and out.
Starting to get a little better control of his breaking ball now. He struggled the first inning with that, but seems to have a little better command of it now.
Brooks leads away from first. Orr goes over there. And Brooks back standing up. If Brooks is thinking about stealing, he might try to go now with 2 down, get himself in scoring position for Lang. Not much of a lead, draws a throw anyway, and is back standing up. Greer Jones holding the runner over there. The Broncos lead at 2-0, scratching out 2 runs in the first with their only hit, a bunt single by Dave Bacani. The pitch by Orr, fastball down, fouled back, and it's 0-2.
He's being able to command that breaking ball. It's really made his fastball that much more effective right now. He's throwing the ball right by him. He's got those hitters guessing.
Again, in the game prior to this one, the Nevada Griffins beat the Tijuana Mayos 6-2. So Tijuana now 2-1. They'll be back in action tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock against either the Austin Mudcats or the Clarinda, Iowa A's. They are playing right now over at El Dorado in an elimination game. High and outside with the fastball is Orr, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nevada will not play again until probably Monday. They most likely will be the feature game on Monday, going in at 3-0. Stretch by Orr, check of the runner, the 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, good stop by Terry Elliott to hold the runner at first, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, all kidding aside, and he's a good friend of both of ours, but Terry Elliott can still catch and throw with just about anybody.
No, he sure can. He's always had an outstanding arm. He's really gained a lot of confidence as he's got older. Swinging the bat a heck of a lot better now. And that just goes with confidence and kind of knowing the game a little bit more, too.
Go to first base. Again, Brooks is back. Orr has been keeping him close with 2 down.
Having a lot of fun, too. That helps. He's enjoying playing out there.
Again, Orr is set. Bluff by Brooks doesn't go, and the pitch is high, and now it's 3-2. That didn't miss by much, but Lang started to go, held off at the last instant. Now the runner will be going with the pitch. A 3-2 count with 2 outs. Pitch on the way, just missed outside. So Ben Orr, who had Lang 0-2, comes back to walk him. First and second now for Hartselle with 2 down. And the batter, Jackie Robinson. Robinson, a little bit older than some of these college-age players, 24 years old. He's from Atlanta. No school background is given on him. A switch hitter batting from the right side. Tends to bat down in the order a little bit right-handed and up at the top left-handed. Takes high for ball 1. So obviously you guess that he's not quite as proficient right-handed.
Yep.
He can really run. This is a guy you want to keep off the base paths. Robinson 2 for 7 so far in the tournament. Ben Orr's pitch. And that's a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hartselle with 2 men on in the top of the second. They trail in the ball game 2-0. Ben Orr ready. And the 1-1. Off-speed pitch fouled off the handle, ricocheted off the glove of Elliott, and back to the backstop. It's 1-2. Following this one tonight, a couple more good games to come here, and that's right, a couple more at 10 o'clock or thereabouts. The Anchorage Bucks against the San Diego Stars, a pair of 1-0 teams, and after they're done at around 1 o'clock, the Topeka Capitals and the Kenai Peninsula Oilers, also both first-round winners. That's a heck of a thing, isn't it, to win your first game? That gives you the right to play at 1 a.m.
We had that game, I think, a couple years ago, and that is a tough game to play.
It was actually last year. I was stupid enough to sit here and watch it. There goes Brooks to third. Got a good jump, and he steals it. Now the trail runner behind him.
Hauled him out and called third strike.
The hitter's out anyway, Robinson, so it didn't matter. Going to third was Robbie Brooks. Got a great jump on Ben Orr, but Jackie Robinson strikes out looking, and the inning comes to an end. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left for Hartselle in the second. After 1.5, El Dorado 2, Hartselle nothing. Mike Pimo will lead off for the El Dorado Broncos in the bottom of the second inning. He'll be followed by Jason Espito and Lou Ford, the bottom third in the order. Corey McDonald's first pitch inside for ball 1. Mike Pimo hitting .309 for the summer, second on the team in home runs with 7 and in RBIs with 33 behind Sam Scott of the summer long players for the Broncos. Takes up and in, 2-0. Couple of Texas guys back-to-back. Puma will be heading to Austin from Navarro Junior College in the fall. Jason Espito behind him is a Longhorn player. Here's a pitch low and outside. 3 balls and no strikes to the leadoff hitter. This is the way that McDonald started the first inning. He walked the first 2 hitters, quickly got himself in trouble. Both of them eventually scored. There's a strike. It's 3-1. So far, Hartselle has an ERA as a team of 4.50 for 12 innings in 2 games, but they've held opponents to a 128 batting average with just 5 hits in 2 games. But they've walked 10. There's a line drive just by the diving third baseman and down the left field line. Kumo around first is going to dig for 2, and he will make it standing up. A leadoff double for Mike Kumo to start the second inning for the El Dorado Broncos.
anytime you're up in a count, got a 3-1 count, it is. You're going to be able to look fastball. You're just going to be that much better hitter, and that's what Pumo got. He got a fastball up and just drove it right down the line for a double.
Pretty good effort by Chance Melvin, a headlong dive, backhanded at third base, but the ball was just too far out of his reach to have any chance. It brings up Jason Espito, a sophomore to be at Texas, the well-known Texas town of Itasca, Illinois. Pitch to him, check swing, a tie for ball one. Augie Garrido must have gone back to some of his old University of Illinois days and connections to bring him down. Espito, a big kid at 6'2", 180. He'll be a sophomore this coming year. Had a decent freshman season for the Longhorns. He's hit .235 so far this summer for the Broncos. Pickoff move at second, the runner back. Espito, in 46 games and 40 starts as a freshman at Texas, hit .301 with 2 homers, 20 runs batted in, and he scored 24.
They struggled a little bit last year, didn't they, Mike?
Yeah, they didn't even make the Big 12 tournament, which is amazing. The pitch. Hit hard to right field. That's way back there, and Espito is going to have his second home run in as many nights. Jason Espito, who homered last night against the San Francisco Seals, hits one of the more solid home runs so far in the tournament. There was no doubt about that one. There's a short porch and right, but they could lengthen it a little bit, and that one still would have been out of here.
Yeah, that ball was touched a little bit. McDonald, pitcher, has really lost command of his changeup and breaking ball. He's just having to pump the fastballs in, and the Broncos are just setting fastball all the time, and if he does that, he's going to get in hard.
Jason Espito, coming into this tournament, had hit 1 home run in the first 12 games that he had played with the Broncos. He joined them a little bit later in the summer. He's hit 2 in 3 games so far here in the tournament. 4-0 Broncos, and here's a called strike at the knees to Lou Ford. Ford is another new addition to this ball club. In fact, brand new. He had not played for the Broncos prior to the postseason. He's a senior to be at Dallas Baptist, an NAIA program. Hits this one right back to the pitcher and through the pitcher into center field. That'll be a base hit, but a guy a little quicker on the mound would have made that play.
That's right. The ball was hit right on his glove-hand side. Bo was unable to come up with it. Now no outs. The runner at first, top of the lineup. The Broncos looking pretty good this inning right now. 4th hit for the Broncos. Lou Ford now 4 for 11 as a Bronco and 3 for 8 in the NBC World Series. Kevin Hooper walked and scored his first time up. Runner goes. Strike call. Throw down is way wide in the field. Couldn't find it right away as the fielder came down on him trying to lunge for the throw, and so he's unable to advance to third for the catcher Wes Brooks. The stolen base, and the Broncos have 3 steals in 3 attempts in the first 2 innings. Boy, just a huge jump. Really no way Wes Brooks could throw the base.
Action in the Hartselle bullpen. Right-hander Travis Lallemond is throwing. Pitch to Hooper. Low and away, ball 1. Kevin Hooper coming off another outstanding spring at Wichita State. He was All-Missouri Valley Conference and second-team All-America. Hit .360 with 53 walks in 57 games. Scored 101 runs.
No box.
That'll move Ford over to third. And right now, Corey McDonald having trouble getting much of anything to go right out there on the mound. Stretch. Pitch to Hooper, and a little pop-up right side. The second baseman Brooks going out, calling. Robinson coming in. Brooks juggles it but makes the catch, and holding at third is Lou Ford. Kind of interesting because Ford chose to play it a few steps down the line, thinking that ball might get over the second baseman and fall in, which is okay, but because of that, he might have had a chance to tag if he had been playing it as a tag play.
That's right. With no outs, though, you're really not going to take a chance. Again, Jeremy Trouton comes up with the opportunity to maybe drive him in with another fly ball. Most runners are taught to go halfway on any infield fly ball.
Hooper pops out to the juggling second baseman, Robbie Brooks, 1 out of the inning, and Jeremy Troutman takes a strike on the outside corner. Troutman walked on 4 pitches his first time up, so that's the first strike that he has seen tonight. He later stole third and scored a run. Runner at third, 1 out. I like his chances of getting the run home somehow. Takes Hine outside, 1-1. In a very similar situation, but much more important last night. In the bottom of the 7th, with the Broncos down a run, Troutman got a bouncer to the first baseman to get the tying run home.
I'm saying, too, he does not strike out very often. He'll find a way to put the ball in play.
1-1. Looped up the middle. That's trouble. It's a base hit. A little flare in the left center field for Jeremy Troutman. Drives in another run. The Broncos lead it 5-0. Doesn't have to be pretty with them. Just get the job done.
It's never pretty, really. But like I say, he just finds a way to put the ball in play. Got jammed on a fastball. A little flare, but just good enough to drive the run in.
Broncos now with 5 runs on 5 hits. And that will bring up Dave Saccani, who has one of those hits, a bunt single, his first time up. Saccani's second hit and 8 at-bats in the tournament, a throw to first base and the runner back. Hartselle, which has jumped off to a great start in the tournament, in danger of letting this one get out of hand pretty early here. The next one from the right-hander, there goes the runner, and a drive into center field. Pretty well hit, but a good jump on it by Carlson. He'll get back and make the catch in right center for the out. That ball stayed up in the air a little while. Carlson, who has very good range in center field, I've watched him in a couple of previous games, gets a good jump, made that play very easily.
One thing, too, he reads the ball off the bat very well. You said that's a big key. If you get that extra step by picking it up quickly off the bat, you're going to be that much better outfielder.
2 gone now. Here is Greer Jones, who drove in a run with a sacrifice fly his first time up. 4 for 8 in the tournament with 4 runs batted in. First pitch to him, line into left field, hit like a shot, a base hit. Picked up on the first bounce by the left fielder, and stopping at second base is Jeremy Troutman. But Greer Jones has seen 2 first pitches to his liking and has hit them solidly. 6 hits now for the Broncos. The batter, Sam Scott, the DH, who grounded to second his first time up.
Here's another guy. He's going to be hitting when he's 45. He just steps out and he'll hit a fastball forever.
Greer Jones playing in his 3rd different stint with the Broncos. I'll tell you about that as we get a chance. Sam Scott takes one in the dirt for ball 1. Greer Jones' first experience with the Broncos was after his freshman season at Butler County Community College in 1991. Then he was picked up after being released from pro ball 2 years ago and added to the team going into the Midwest Regional, helped them win the whole thing here. And now was added after playing in the Midwest Regional for the Sluggers this year. This one's high and outside to Scott. 2 balls and no strikes. Everybody's sorry to see the Sluggers not here this year. It's a little hard to get that team together this season.
It was kind of tough this year.
2 balls, no strikes, and a drive into right center, a base hit. A line drive past the second baseman by Scott. 1 run is in. Greer Jones over to third. He'll be held up there. A long single for Sam Scott. A run batted in, and the Broncos lead it 6-0 here in the bottom of the second.
McDonald's just about done. It's going to bring the coach out for the Hartselle Expos. You're real surprised. Yep, they're going to go ahead and make the change.
A pitching change coming up as 6 runs are in for the El Dorado Broncos on 7 hits, 5 of them here in the second inning with 2 out and runners at first and third. And we're going to go ahead and take a 1-minute commercial break. We'll be back with more of the 64th Annual NBC World Series with El Dorado leading Hartselle 6-0.
What is
The new pitcher for the Hartselle Expos is Travis Lallemand, Lallemand, 6'3", 195-pound right-hander from Berry College. He is actually originally from Douglas, Kansas. He's got a Kansas boy on the mound facing a Kansas team, but pitching for Hartselle, Alabama. He inherits a jam. First and third, there are 2 outs in the inning, but the Broncos have already scored 4 times in the second and lead it 6-0. Terry Elliott will stand in from the right side. Terry, a fly ball to right his first time up, puts him at 4 for 9 in the tournament. Mark mentioned earlier that Terry's probably a better hitter now than ever, at a more mature age, and in his last 3 NBC World Series for the Sluggers, he is a better than .340 hitter. Bounces one foul along the third baseline for strike 1. 10 for 26, .385 in the 96 NBC World Series. Had a 2-home run game against Kelowna the year before that. Takes this one for a strike. Terry in the hole, 0-2.
He's probably wishing McDonald was still in the ball game. Hartselle pitcher really drops down from the side. I think a Dan Quisenberry type pitch.
This is low with this one, 1 ball and 2 strikes. This will definitely be a different look for the Broncos to pick up.
It's a guy that can shut you down maybe one time through the order before you start making the adjustment.
And he got Terry on a swing and a miss. Terry Elliott strikes out to end the inning. But the El Dorado Broncos open up a little breathing room, picking up 4 runs on 6 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. So we've completed 2 here at Lawrence Dumont in our feature game tonight. It's the El Dorado Broncos 6, Hartselle, Alabama, 0. Top of the third inning at Lawrence Dumont Stadium, second game of the night. We are into baseball around the clock, and some people who are into this so much are going to watch 17 games in 56 hours, or at least parts of them. It'll all wrap up on Sunday night after the feature game. Leading it off for Hartselle, leadoff man Stephen Carlson, and he lines one into right field for a base hit. Carlson, continuing to have a good tournament, is 6 for 10 with that line single to right to lead it off here in the third for the Expos. We talked about the Broncos really starting to pick up on the Hartselle starter, Corey McDonald, second time through the order especially. We'll see if Hartselle can make some adjustments on Ben Orr. This one's inside to Danny Pagnelli for ball one. Pagnelli hit by a pitch his first time up.
Almost got hit again.
But is hitless in the tournament, 0 for 7. There goes the runner, and Orr's got him picked. Throw to first base. Greer Jones down to second, and out at second base is Stephen Carlson. Earlier in the ball game, Pagnelli got away with that and stole second.
I thought they called a balk.
Apparently so, and Mark Wasikowski is going to run out and dispute this one a little bit. He went first movement, and Orr saw him already breaking, so he made a move over. And sometimes a pitcher startled like that will maybe do a little something in the move that breaks the rules of what's a legal step off and throw over or the move you have to make. So Mark Wasikowski, who is a pitching coach at Southeast Missouri State and therefore very aware of those kinds of things, is arguing the case a little bit. Of course, it will not prevail, and down at second base on the balk is Stephen Carlson. That's a big break for Hartselle because he was clearly out at second base had the play stood.
Yeah, it's a huge break. Kind of surprised they're stealing, though. Getting down 6 runs, though, although it is still early in the ball game.
Pagnelli back in from the left side. And the first pitch to him. Bunt in the air, a chance for Elliott, and he got it. Just about as far as the old wheels could carry him down the third base line, but he got there to make the catch on the foul ball. 1 gone in the inning.
Another strange move. Runner in scoring position, nobody out, down 6 runs. You're really not in a position where you want to give up out as far as a straight sacrifice bunt. It really backfires for Hartselle.
That'll bring up Alberto Morales, the shortstop, batting third in the order, lined out to the center fielder, his first time up. Morales from the University of North Alabama, Division II program. Hard chop right back to Ben Orr. Made a nice reaction play and then throws him out at first. Orr showed some quickness on the mound that time. That ball was hit pretty sharply. He gloved the ball on one hop, threw him out at first.
Ball was hit very sharply up the middle. Nice hands. Again, the ball was hit on his glove hand side, which made it a little bit easier play for him.
Now Chance Melvin, who hit a fly ball to right center his first time up, retired by Lou Ford. Runner at second, 2 down for Hartselle. Ben Orr's pitch, breaking ball, lined, and by the third baseman into left field. Let's see if they try to score him. They'll hold him up. Coming from second, Stephen Carlson had to wait to see if the ball would be caught. Actually, didn't have to.
That's what I was going to say. I'm going, what is he doing?
With 2 outs, he didn't have to hesitate.
Yeah, he should be going on contact. He scores easily on that ball if he does, but as you said, Mike actually hesitated, thinking I guess there was maybe not 2 outs, therefore did not score, so that may come back to haunt him.
His manager, Philip Hill, coaching at third, certainly questioned him about his decision there. 3 hits now for the Expos, but still no runs. First and third with 2 down. Robbie Brooks singled to left his first time up. Orr's pitch, lined, and just by Dave Bacani into center field. That may have kicked off his glove, but it's a base hit for Brooks, his second of the night. And Hartselle on the board at 6-1. Both those balls, the last 2, have really been sharply hit by Chance Melvin, and that one by Brooks, although Bacani made a headlong dive, almost got to that one. It appeared to hit just off the end of his glove. It kind of changed direction out into center field, but Brooks has hit the ball right on the nose twice.
That's right. He almost made the play of the tournament. You're right, Mike. Just kicked off his glove, headlong dive. The ball was hit like a bullet.
A run on 4 hits now for the Expos, and here is Wes Brooks, who hit a fly ball to left his first time. Takes outside for ball 1. Wes Brooks, a right-handed hitter, the Hartselle catcher. He is from Gadsden, Alabama, plays his collegiate ball for Jacksonville State, which is a Division I program, by the way, in the Trans-America Conference. It just has become one in the last couple of years in baseball. Brooks, 5'10", 200-pounder. Long look this time for the sign by Ben Orr, twirling the ball behind his back. Now he's ready. And the 1-0. That just misses outside. A fastball, 2-0. Wes Brooks is from Gadsden, Alabama, and that is the town that sent a team here to the very first NBC World Series in 1935, of which Bobby Bragan was a member, one of the new Hall of Fame inductees by the NBC on opening night. This one is over but low, 3 balls and no strikes. A bit of action in the Broncos bullpen. A left-hander up and throwing. Pitch, strike on the inside corner, and that runs it to 3-1. That appears to be Larry Martin, who is throwing in the El Dorado bullpen. Team up 6-1, but this team can hit. They're not going to take any chances on letting them get on a little streak here. And this one is low for ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 2 down. And this is a critical point in the ball game for Ben Orr. He is an out away from making this relatively harmless and coming out of the inning with a big lead, or hit for Hartselle, and they are right back in this thing.
And they got a guy, Sam Lee, at the plate, who does have a home run in the tournament.
Sam Lee just had a monster spring for North Alabama, again a Division II program. He finished his career there this spring as a senior. He hit .521 with 6 homers and 18 doubles. He ranked second in the nation in Division II in batting at .521. Here's a line foul out of play to the right. And let me tell you, Division II or whatever, you hit .521 in any league, you can hit a little bit.
Sure can. It's tough to hit over 500. Very few hitters have done that in Division I. Maybe a handful.
The 0-1 on the way. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. It might be less than a handful. I think there maybe have been 3 or so that have hit 500 or better, and 2 of them were in the same season. Dave Magadan hit like .522 and 85 and didn't even lead the nation. He was second. Ball hit to the right side. Hooper to his left. Great pickup. Throws. Got him. And I'll tell you what, with many other people out there at second base, that would have been a base hit and a big inning for Hartselle, but it's Kevin Hooper.
That's right. There's a handful of guys in this tournament who can make that play right there. Just hit it to the wrong guy. Hooper has outstanding range going to the left. An outstanding play to save some runs.
Cries of hoop accompany the end of the inning as Hartselle gets 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors, and 3 men left on base. After 2.5, Broncos 6, the Expos 1. Leading off the third for the El Dorado Broncos will be Mike Kumo, which is exactly the same as the last inning, as the Broncos batted around in the second, scoring 4 times. Mike Kumo started it with a double, takes outside for ball 1. Travis Lalaman's pitch chopped over the mound, the shortstop to his left, and the throw to first by Morales in time for the out. Mike Kumo with a big chopper up the middle, thrown out short to first, 1 out in the third for El Dorado, and the batter, Jason Espito, who lifted one over the right field fence for a 2-run homer his first time up. Again, Espito only playing in his 15th game with the Broncos. He joined them late in the season, takes outside for ball 1. And got off to a slow start. He's still just hitting .235 coming into this one, but he's now 6 for 8 in this tournament. Out in front of a changeup, evens it up at 1-1. Travis Lalaman facing his third hitter in relief of the starter Corey McDonald. Drops down, comes from the side, and he hits the outside corner, 1-2.
So the changeup, breaking ball, and fastball. He's going to be real tough on right-hand hitters. Left-hand hitters should be able to hit him.
High drive into left center field. Carlson playing around the other way a little bit is going to get there as it hangs up for him, and he makes the catch for the out. Again, with a normal South Kansas wind blowing, that ball's probably in the gap. Carlson was playing the hitter to pull a little bit, had a long way to go into left center.
Anything hits from left field really to right center is not carrying at all. Get one down the line, like you said, Mike, probably get it out. But just some dead air tonight.
Lou Ford bounced a single through the pitcher's mound his first time up, 1 for 1, scored a run. Takes outside for ball 1. As mentioned earlier, Lou Ford was a late pickup by the Broncos coming into the tournament, a senior to be at Dallas Baptist. Takes the breaking ball for a strike, 1-1. Ford had a great spring. He hit .507 at the NAIA level, 4th in the nation, 14 homers, 92 runs batted in, and 95 runs scored in 63 games. Takes a strike at the knees, 1-2. Ford, a guy who can hit with a little bit of power and also runs well. Chop off the plate toward the third baseline. Lalaman may have let it bounce one too many times, and he throws it. It bounces past the first baseman, hits the runner, and goes into shallow right field. That will be a base hit for Ford, and then a throwing error on the pitcher, who should have just swallowed the ball. He had no chance to get Ford at first.
That's right. Once you want to bounce that second time, as you said, Mike, there's really no way to throw Ford out at first base. Puts the Bronco runner now in scoring position with 2 out.
And if you think anybody's booing about anything, just assume anytime you hear that noise, Kevin Hooper is coming up or doing something. Hooper in the batter's box. He has walked and popped to second. Scored a run back in the first after drawing a leadoff walk. He takes low for ball 1. Hooper from Lawrence, a senior to be at Wichita State in the coming year. He was drafted this summer by the Cleveland Indians, but in the very late round. Takes the strike, and it's 1-1. Hoop will be without his Smurf buddy, Zach Sorensen, for the first time in 4 years next year. Takes this one, a breaking ball, low and outside, 2-1. He actually has we have a new Smurf combo here this summer with the Broncos. Dave Bacani is almost as little as Hooper, the El Dorado shortstop.
Pretty close.
2-1, tap foul off the plate, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Blazy could assume that role at Wichita State.
Yeah, that could be another Smurf duo. Kevin Hooper's really grown up there, 5'9" and 150 now. Kind of a giant compared to when he came in.
It's really not that small.
Little roller to second, right to Robbie Brooks. Throw to first was barely in time. Brooks kind of waited on that slow roller, and Hooper almost legged it out. For the Broncos, in the third, no runs, 1 infield hit, 1 error, and 1 man left. We've completed 3 at Lawrence Dumont, and the Broncos lead Hartselle, Alabama, 6-1. Mike Kennedy and Mark Standiford at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Bill Knowles, our producer, in the studio, and we move into the top of the 4th inning of tonight's feature game, with the Broncos leading Hartselle 6-1. The Expos got their first run on the board in the third, and will try to continue against Ben Orr here with Alan Lang leading it off. The DH takes high for ball 1. Lang batting 8th in the order. He walked his first time up. Hartselle has managed 4 hits in the ball game off Ben Orr, 3 of them in the third inning. Swing and a miss. Had him out in front of an off-speed pitch, and it's 1-1.
Good changeup. Again, that's the pitch he's going to have to be able to command. Hartselle can hit the fastball. He has to be able to get that off-speed pitch over for a strike.
1-1 delivery. That's over. A fastball in the inside corner, 1-2. Hartselle hitting .484 through its first 2 games, 31 hits in 64 at-bats. Low and inside with that one, 2-2. And they had hit 6 home runs in their first 2 games, 4 in the second round win over Clarinda. 2-2 delivery. Off-speed breaking ball. He started to go. In fact, they appeal, and he did go. The first base umpire rings him up. Alan Lang down on strikes, and that's the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Ben Orr. Brings up Jackie Robinson, who was called out on strikes his first time up. Kind of an odd play with one of his teammates stealing third, and everybody was watching the play as he was being rung up. He hits this one in the air to right center. Moving over on it is Ford, makes the catch for the out. The center fielder cruising into right center to haul down the fly ball by Robinson. 2 up and 2 down. Back to the top of the order, and Stephen Carlson, who has grounded to second and singled to right. He scored the only Hartselle run after leading off with a single in the third. Moore shakes off a sign from Terry Elliott, shakes him again, and now is ready. Wanted the fastball, and it is line just fair, right on the chalk down the right field line and into the corner. Jeremy Troutman over to pick it up. He's going to go for 3. Hooper's got a relay throw on the way. It is in time. Not a good decision by Carlson. They're down 5 runs. He goes for a triple there and a great relay. Troutman to Hooper to Jason Aspito to cut him down at third base. In the inning, for Hartselle, no runs, 1 hit. As Carlson will get credit for a double. No errors, nobody left. After 3.5, Broncos 6, Hartselle 1. It leads off for the El Dorado Broncos in the bottom of the 4th. He's 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. He has scored twice and driven in a run. Takes a strike from Travis Lallemond, who has retired 4 of 5 hitters that he has faced coming out of the bullpen. This one's grounded up the first baseline, foul. Knocked down. The first base coach, and it's 0-2. Broncos staff this year, in addition to manager Mark Wasikowski, is Dan Davis and Amos Williams. 0-2 outside to Troutman, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Troutman leading off the inning after helping end it defensively on the last hitter at the top of the inning with a great throw from right field. Takes low, 2-2. Troutman, Bacani, and Greer-Jones, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the El Dorado lineup. Stretched by Lalaman, 2-2 pitch, breaking ball low, 3-2. I apologize because I know I've said Wranglers a couple of times tonight. It's hard to sit in this ballpark, this press box, and see a local team and not think in terms of the Wranglers. Of course, it's the El Dorado Broncos, and Jeremy Troutman takes ball 4. That's the first walk issued by Lalaman. Troutman has drawn 2 walks tonight. That's the third time in 4 innings that the Broncos have put their leadoff man on. In each of the 2 previous innings that they did so, they scored him.
Back in my career, though, Mike, we had quite a few home games here at Wichita State.
Yeah, that's right. There's a ground ball to second, could be 2, and Brooks boots it, scrambles after it, throws, late at first. Looked like for a moment he might still have a chance to get one. He didn't get either one of them, and it was a room service double play ball, hit sharply right at him.
Right, we talked about this in pregame, Mike. You just cannot afford to give extra outs. As you said, just a routine ground ball right at him, easy double play. Kind of had the stone hands and therefore did not get any outs. Brings a guy like Greer-Jones to the plate with 2 runners on.
First and second, nobody out, and Greer has hit 2 balls right on the nose.
Yep.
A sacrifice fly to center and a line single to left. Stretched by Lalaman, the first pitch, low for ball 1. This is the first time Greer has seen this right-hander. Sam Scott due up next, and they are the last 2 in the Broncos lineup who have not faced Lalaman since he came into the ballgame. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch checked his swing. It was up and in, a riding fastball that puts it at 2-0. Greer-Jones, out of Wichita, Cape and Mount Carmel, played his college ball at Butler County Community College in 91 and 92, and then 2 years at McNeese State in Louisiana. Swings, runners going right behind the runner into left field. Troutman will score around second, and holding is Dave Bacani as the throw comes in. Greer-Jones, 2 for 2. That's his second run batted into the night with a single through the hole into left.
Great execution of a hit and run. Trying to stay out of the double play. Didn't want to go with the bunt. It does put the runners in motion. He was going to get a fastball, and that's what he got.
It's kind of a kick to watch Troutman kind of try to stop himself in mid-stride till he could figure out where that one was, and then kind of scoot forward as it was right behind him into the hole into left. First and second, nobody out. 7-1 now, Broncos, and the batter Sam Scott. Outside, ball 1. For those of you not familiar with the NBC World Series, or for those of you who kind of forget the system from year to year, 2 things that are unique. The timer, the clock that runs at all times. This is a breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-1. You're allowed 20 seconds between pitches. If you exceed that as a pitcher, then it's an automatic ball, or if the hitter is not back in the box ready to hit within 20 seconds, it's a strike. And the same happens during the change between innings, in which they are allowed 90 seconds. And you see clock violations throughout this tournament, especially with teams that are not used to it. Here's a pitch on the inside corner. Good fastball, 1-2 to Sam Scott, who has grounded to second and singled to drive in a run. Sam 3 for 8 so far in the tournament. Big leadoff second by Bacani, bluff toward third, check swing on a breaking ball low, and it's 2-2. The shortstop moved right in behind Dave Bacani at second, was really kind of bluffing him, holding him close, and just as soon as he started back toward his position, Bacani took a huge stride off towards third, dancing around. He's got him moving all over the place out there, and finally Lalaman steps off the mound, or off the rubber.
It opens up a lot of holes for the hitter, too. Gets the middle moving that much.
2-2, high and outside with the fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The El Dorado Broncos, of course, have one of the most successful histories in this tournament, as actually 3 franchises, Hutchinson, Wichita, and El Dorado Broncos. This one's low and inside for ball 4. The bases are loaded. Nobody out. The Broncos already leading 7-1. And again, we're getting into very dangerous territory here for the Hartselle Expos. The batter is Terry Elliott, who has flied to right and struck out.
One thing, too, Elliott's been able to see him one time through, so he should be able to make a little bit of adjustment right now. Nobody out, bases loaded. Great situation to hit.
It's to Terry, hit hard, right to the third baseman, though. Could be 2. Chance Melvin steps on third, then throws to first wide, and the run scores. Greer-Jones sliding hard into third base. kind of broke it up the way you normally would at second. Melvin unable to step over Jones and get a clean throw to first, so Terry Elliott reaches on a fielder's choice and therefore picks up a run batted in as the score goes to 8-1.
And normally a ball hit like that, you're going to turn the double play through second first, have to run a long ways to get to the bags first of all. I guess assuming Elliott doesn't run real quick at the plate, therefore he thought he'd have a good chance to do it. But tough way to turn a double play.
Swing and a miss by Mike Pumo for strike one. Pumo has doubled and grounded to short. First and second, only one out still in the inning. And Pumo, with not a very good effort to lay one down, kind of stabbed at it and missed it. And he's in the hole 0-2.
Looks like he was trying to push the bunt right towards the second baseman. He is playing very deep at second. I can see your guy here swing the bat though and try to drive that runner in.
Here's a fly ball to left, fairly well hit. Moving to his left and making the catch, Danny Pagnelli, and fires toward third to hold the runners in place. There are now two away as Pumo flies out. That will bring up Jason Espito, who has a two-run homer to right and a fly ball to left center. The El Dorado Broncos, one of the few teams to win this tournament 3 times. They did it as the Wichita Broncos back-to-back in 1989 and 90, and then again just 2 years ago, 1996. The pitch hit hard toward right center, won't be high enough to get out, but it is going to smack the wall with authority. One run is in. Here comes Elliott around third. They're going to hold him up. It's a double and a run batted in for Jason Espito. And Espito is smacking the ball hard in this NBC World Series.
Well, he sure is. That ball was hit on the line. As you said, Mike, not hit high enough to get out of here. If it was, it clears the fence easily. Banged hard off the right center field wall.
Terry Elliott going into third, hoping he wouldn't be sent.
He was hoping all the way.
It is now a 9-1 ball game. The El Dorado Broncos on top, 2 out in the bottom of the fourth, and the batter, Lou Ford, the center fielder. Single and an infield single, 2 for 2. Takes the breaking ball for a strike. I mentioned the timer, the other, of course, thing that keeps events moving here at Lawrence Dumont in the NBC World Series, the run rule, and it is 10 after 5 and 6 from the 7th inning on. Big chopper toward the hole at short. Backing up and letting it play him. Morales kicks off his glove into left field. 2 more runs score, and the Broncos lead it 11-1.
That's a huge error, too, Mike. Just what you said, the run rule now is in effect. The Broncos can go out and hold them and things can be over with. You said a shortstop just set back. You cannot do that on turf. If you let the ball take too many hops, you run the risk of that happening. That ball bounced right over his head.
No run batted in for Ford, as he should have been out and the inning should have been over. Instead, 2 more runs score. And now the Broncos in a position for a possible early run rule. There goes the runner. Hooper takes, throw down, right on the bag, but bounces, hits the runner, bounces into shallow center field. And Ford stealing with an 11-1 lead. It's still early, and by getting himself into scoring position, it can add another run cushion to try to end this thing early.
And I think that's what they're playing for, and you can't really blame the Broncos for doing that. It allows them to save pitching and get the game over with quick. So you really can't apply that same pro rule to this tournament.
Ball 1 to Kevin Hooper, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. The fastball low, 2-0.
It's kind of strange, too. They do it in pro ball, but baseball is really the only sport you see that. They don't stop shooting baskets in the NBA or whatever. I mean, you're out there to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. I say that because Barry Bonds took a little flack because he stole up 8-1 the other day. But the bottom line is you're out there to score runs and get your team a win.
Hooper took a strike. It's 2-1. Lalliman deals low and away, 3-1. 2 big errors in the inning by the 2 middle infielders. One was a double play ball back on the second hitter of the inning. They could easily have been out of here with nothing scoring. There was the runner to third. Big high chop to short. Morales fields it on the hop. Going to throw home, and they score. Lou Ford came around third, and Morales kind of hesitated, then tried to throw it on the move and bounced it toward the first base side of home plate. And Ford, who runs well, slid around the catcher, and the Broncos lead it by a score of 12-1.
Great hustle by Ford. Didn't even hesitate coming around third. Made the shortstop again, try to throw the ball on the run.
Kevin Hooper will be given credit for an infield hit because there could not have been a very good play on him at first base. Now, whether or not they give him an RBI, I question, because the runner really scored more on his own volition than on the hit itself. Jeremy Troutman up for the second time in the inning, the second time tonight in 4 at-bats that the Broncos have batted around, leading it now 12-1. The pitch. fouled off the end of the bat. No balls and 1 strike. Coming up next, and maybe a little earlier than scheduled, the way things are going, the Anchorage Bucks and the San Diego Stars, a pair of 1-0 teams in the tournament. Anytime you can move things up on the schedule during this baseball around the clock, it's a blessing. It just, or at least keep things on time so that the 1 a.m. game starts at 1 a.m.
That's right, and it's 3 a.m. or is it scheduled 3 o'clock or 3:30?
No, they wrap it up after that game and don't start again until 8 a.m. But a lot of times the 1 a.m. game starts at 2, and then it's 5 o'clock before anybody gets out of here. Jeremy Troutman down to third. Have a little chat with Mark Wazakowski before stepping back in. No balls, 1 strike. Lalaman's pitch, fastball high. Hooper bluffed off first but didn't go. Chances are he won't be running now with an extra run on the cushion. 12-1 Broncos in the bottom of the 4th. Lalaman's pitch, swing and a miss. Troutman chased an off-speed pitch that was out of the strike zone away from him, 1-2.
He's not getting teed up there. He's pretty much letting it hang out right now.
Hartselle in a position where they'll have to score at least 2 to keep this game going in the top of the 5th. 1-2. Hooper is going. Little bouncer back to the mound. Lalaman has it, and the throw to first for the out. And the inning finally comes to an end. But the Broncos send 10 men to the plate, and they pick up 6 more runs, this time on just 3 hits. There were 2 big errors, and 1 man left on base. So after 4, it's now the El Dorado Broncos 12, Hartselle, Alabama 1. Who has scattered 5 hits and 1 run through 4 innings can pick up a 5-inning complete game victory here by holding Hartselle to 1 run or less in the top of the 5th. And his first pitch to Danny Pagnelli. This is inside for ball 1. Pagnelli's been hit by a pitch and has popped up a bunt to the catcher Terry Elliott. He takes a strike, 1-1. 12-1, El Dorado. They've out-hit Hartselle 12-5. Hartselle has got to score twice to avoid being run ruled in 5. Fastball strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Broncos have gotten good pitching so far. Their ERA through the first 2 games, 2.57. There's a bouncer to second. Kevin Hooper comes in, gobbles it up, throws him out at first, 1 gone. They better hit it somewhere else if they want to keep this inning going. Hooper's 3rd assist of tonight. The second one was a beauty, going way to his left, turning completely around and throwing a man out to end the 3rd after Hartselle had scored a run and had the bases loaded, and that's one of the turning points in the game. There's a high fly ball to left. Got under it a little bit. Alberto Morales will fly out to Mike Kumo, and there are 2 gone. Morales up 3 times, hit the first pitch, all 3 times up,
Yep.
line to center, tap to the pitcher, slide to left.
Or just coming right at him with fastballs.
Leaves it up to Chance Melvin, who is 6 for 10 in the tournament, including 1 for 2 tonight. He has slide to center and single. Takes inside for ball 1. Pretty good breaking ball. Melvin was up looking first pitch fastball. Got a sharp breaker on the inside corner. 1-0. Fastball down and in. Skips in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Hartselle's got to get somebody on to have a chance to keep the ball game going. Pitch. Grounded to short. This should do it. Dave Bacani juggles it momentarily, but throws to first in time. And the El Dorado Broncos have their 2nd easy win of the tournament. Their 2nd 5-inning run rule game. This one by a score of 12-1. No runs, no hits, and nobody left for Hartselle in the 5th. The final score in this run rule game: the El Dorado Broncos 12, the Hartselle Expos 1, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Mike Kennedy along with Mark Sandiford, and we had a quick one here in the feature game tonight. We've had a couple of nail-biter 1-run games right to the finish the 2 previous nights, but tonight it was all El Dorado Broncos. They picked up 1 run, actually 2 runs in their first at-bat in the first inning and never trailed. They added 4 in the 2nd, then blew it wide open with 6 in the 4th. Hartselle contributed a couple of key errors to that last rally, but the Broncos had 12 hits. They ran the bases well, played solid defense, and got a good pitching performance from left-hander Ben Orr.
They sure did. Orr scattered 5 hits, as you said, Michael, over 5 innings. Threw the ball well, worked ahead, and just played great defense, as you said. That's the key, and got some timely hits all up and down the lineup. Everybody contributed. I think Jones had 3 hits, or 2 hits, that is. So all in all, a great performance, a good win. They're able to save some pitching. So as you know, you need to save your pitching. As you said, you got to win 7 games here to win it. So the least amount of pitchers they can use, the better off they're going to be. And by playing only 5 innings, that's got to help them out.
Hartselle, after getting off to a quick 2-0 start, will have to turn around pretty quickly and try to keep it going. They will be back in action on Sunday at 5 o'clock against the winner of a game being played over at El Dorado tomorrow between Seguin, Texas, and either Topeka or Kenai, whoever loses tonight's 1 a.m. game. Meanwhile, the Broncos are still in the feature match. They will be back on Sunday night in the feature game at 7:30 against the winner of the Prairie Gravel game with either Anchorage or San Diego tomorrow. So the Broncos will be 3-0 and in action on Sunday night in the feature game, and they join Nevada as the only 3-0 team so far in the tournament. Coming in, I'll be honest with you, Mark, I didn't know if the Broncos would be one of the real top contenders in this tournament, and there's still a long way to go, but so far they have been as impressive as anyone here.
They sure have, and I think a big key is who they picked up. I mean, you pick up a guy like Greer Jones, Terry Elliott, a guy behind the plate, and I tell you what, I was impressed with Ford, the way he played. And I guess he was a pickup, as you said. So 3 guys right there that really contributed tonight. Ford had a couple hits, scored a couple runs. So, they're going to always do that. Every time tournament time comes, if they've struggled a little bit during the year, look for them to perform well here because they're going to find a way to win. They're going to pick up some guys to make them better because they really play all summer for this time.
And their pitching is fresh. They've barely dipped into their bullpen. They still can throw Brian Motzenbacher as a starter, who was one of their top 2 during most of the summer. Nate Robertson will have plenty of time to come back soon, and so this team has set itself up pretty well for the time being.
They sure have. They're an exciting team to watch. And as you said, they've really impressed you and impressed me as well. And I've only got to see them a couple times, so I look for them to go on, and Sunday's going to be another great game.
Totals in tonight's ball game for the El Dorado Broncos: 12 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and for the Hartselle, Alabama Expos, 1 run, 5 hits, and 2 errors. The winning pitcher, Ben Orr, who goes the distance in a 5-inning ball game, allowing 1 run on 5 hits with 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. And the loser is the Hartselle starter, Corey McDonald, who went the first 1 2/3 and gave up 6 runs on 7 hits. Home runs in the ballgame. Actually, there was just 1 for the El Dorado Broncos. Jason Espito, his second of the tournament, with a man on in the 2nd inning. And Espito was 2 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. He's now 7 for 10 in 3 games. Greer Jones, 2 for 2 with a couple of runs batted in. And Jeremy Troutman, 1 for 2 with 2 walks and 3 runs scored in the 2nd spot in the order. Good night all the way around for the Broncos. And again, they'll be back in action Sunday night in the feature game at 7:30. Tomorrow night's feature game here on KNSS will match the Liberal BJs against either Topeka or Kenai. Whoever comes out of that 1 a.m. game tonight as the winner, it'll be another matchup of 2-0 teams. And still to go here tonight, and what should be a couple of good ones, the Anchorage Bucks 1-0 against the 1-0 San Diego Stars right after this one. And then at approximately 1 a.m., the Topeka Capitals and the Kenai Peninsula Oilers also both 1-0. Earlier scores, Nevada over Tijuana 6-2 in a 3rd-round winners bracket game. And over at El Dorado, Crestwood, Illinois eliminated Valdosta, Georgia 10-4. Again, our final here, El Dorado 12, Hartselle 1 in 5 innings. For Mark Standiford and our producer Bill Knowles, Mike Kennedy saying thanks for joining us at the 64th NBC World Series.
Nancy Yoder from Hutchinson's on the phone to share.